Hey guys, welcome back to Rocket QnA, my fellow space tubers. Today we are here to witness the another launch of the space station, the China's space station, and the name as they it as Tiangong space station. So here we are going to witness it, and yes, yesterday we had a scrub for the technical difficulties, as they say, and the difficulty was nothing but that there was some problem with the sound suppression system, or that sprinkler, the water sprinklers, which gets activated just before the launch. So yep, that is the case here. So we are right now, we are t minus 1 minute until the launch, sorry, t minus 1 hour 7 minutes until the launch. And how are you guys? Hi everyone. Hi Kelvin. Hi Yan Rov Gaming. Hi Rajesh Singh. Hi Joe Smith. And from where are you guys watching this stream from? Do write it in the comments, and we will see what we can do here. So we will go and see everything which we need to know about this launch. So just be with me, relax, stay calm, and just enjoy the show. We will go through each and every aspect for this launch. When what is this all about? What it is carrying? What is the rocket and everything? And then we will watch this launch together. So yes, so people are writing London, UK, New York City, US here, Sweden, um, and Jordan, India, Germany. Okay, okay, Mars. Yes, people are here from Mars also, as we all know that Elon Musk already launched his Starship onto the Mars, right? Canada, Colombia. Okay, so we are looking good for today's launch. Talking about any updates. Okay, UK, US. So we have people from all over the world watching this stream right now. And don't worry, guys. I won't, disappoint you. You will get everything to see for this launch. Russia, Taiwan, Boston, China also. Okay, cool. Fine. So we should be looking at the what are the launch today, the rocket, the spacecraft, and those things. So right now we can see the above platform is open for this rocket, which means it is still in the countdown. Although there is no as such confirmation from the CMSE, the China's Manned Space Enterprise, or what, I don't know the full form right now, but yeah, there is no confirmation or official announcement of today's launch, although we have the road closures as well as the marine space closures in place. So here we have the things going on. So yeah, and we can always see that the above platform is opened, and the below ones will also open, and then the rocket will come out and then launch. So that's how the things gonna look like for today. And people who are wondering or getting scared of the rocket stage, let me just tell you, there is no problem with this rocket. Everything is good. The only problem with there is one rocket which has this problem of uncontrolled re-entry. That's it. And no other rocket has this problem right now from China. So Long March 5B is that rocket which is has problem with the uncontrolled re-entry. But other than that, everything else is safe, you can say, because obviously this is launching from Wenchang, which means it's launching from an island, and the stages will drop in the ocean. So yep, here we go. Will you be streaming future launches as well? Dread says yes. Thank you so much, Dread, for that appreciation. Yes, I will be streaming everything. I stream almost every launch that happens, the space industry, as well as those space events also. Uh, um, um, the recent space event which I streamed was the Zhurong rover landing on the Mars. Although we hadn't had the official stream, but I somehow managed to pull out a stream for you guys and everyone enjoyed. So yep, that is the thing. From Nepal, from Philippines, we lesson Starship SN15 will fly again. We will talk about the Starship SN15, but right now we shall talk about this thing here. So talking about the rocket, here we have the Long March 7 rocket, which you can see. This is a medium to heavy lift launch vehicle. The payload capacity for this rocket is around 13 tons to low Earth orbit. Um, and then yeah, so it is a medium to heavy lift launch vehicle, and it just comes if I am correct, just come behind the Long March 5 rocket. So guys, if you are liking this stream, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and if you want to support me in what I do, you can always and always become a Patreon. Link is in the description below, or super chat is always enabled from one-time funding. Really helps the channel. So yeah, so this rocket is a this has four this has four boosters, side boosters, a core stage and an upper stage. All of the boosters, the core stage and the upper stage, run on liquid oxygen and RP1 as its fuel. And talking about the engines which it uses is the YF100 engine for the booster as well as the core stage. The difference between those two, the core stage engine and the booster engine is one thing only, that the number of engine. The booster has one number of YF100 engine and the core stage has two of them, those. And talking about the upper stage, which also runs on RP1 and LOX, has four YF115 engine. So yes, the upper stage also runs on um, liquid oxygen and RP1 as its fuel. So this is all about the rocket which we should be knowing about. And yes, so now we should be looking at the Tianzhou spacecraft here, the Tianzhou-2 spacecraft. And sorry for my pronunciation if it is wrong. So this is the spacecraft which you are seeing right now. And fuel type is RP1 and LOX. So yes, this is the spacecraft which you can see here. And first of all, just looking at this spacecraft for the real photo which we can see here, we can see there is one antenna on this side. We can see the attitude control thrusters and the solar panels here. Again the thrusters, and this is one module here. So if you bifurcate it onto how what it is carrying, so first of all, it is carrying the fuel as well as the cargo. So this Tianzhou spacecraft is a cargo spacecraft which supplies the cargo to the China space station. Okay, and talking about the China space station, they have already launched the Tianhe core module, which was launched on May 18, May 17, if I'm not wrong, and it was a successful launch and it is in the orbit right now. This spacecraft will work as the cargo dragon for SpaceX. You can relate it to that. So this is also a cargo vehicle, cargo resupply vehicle. This will go into the orbit, rendezvous with the Tianhe core module and dock with it. Everything will be autonomous, just like cargo dragon. And yes, so yeah, that is the thing here. Uh, some more photos of the Tianzhou-2 spacecraft. And now we can have a look at the more detailed version of what it is carrying and all those things. So you can see here, it has this propulsion module, it has this cargo module. Okay, so this propulsion module has the engines, four engines are there, as well as the fuel. The main task of this propulsion module is to provide obviously the propulsion to the spacecraft. And then it also works as an orbit refueling of the Tianhe core stage. So yes, once docked with the station, it can also be used as the thing, or that engine. It can also provide that engines and fuel thrust for station keeping the orbit stable, and all those maneuvers like that. So this is a pretty good cargo resupply mission which can happen with the Tianzhou cargo spacecraft. So loaded max weight for this is around 13.5 tons to low Earth orbit, which it can carry. And the 13.5 tons is that just the maximum weight, or you can say the total weight which which it carries. You ask me what is the that the bifurcation, I mean how much of fuel and how much of cargo it carries. So it will carry around 4.69 tons of cargo and 1.95 tons of propellant. So yeah, so it's near to around 6.64 tons of materials here. So yep, that is the case. And okay, so first of all, for this mission, the Tianzhou-2 cargo spacecraft will carry 3-person and 3-month astronaut consumables, and two sets of extravehicular space suits, which is nothing but the EVA suits for spacewalks or conducting EVA activities, and platform materials, and will also conduct rendezvous and docking with the Tianhe core module. So, yep, that is the thing with the Tianzhou-2 spacecraft. 3 month, 3 astronaut supply is there in this spacecraft. Fine. Now moving on to the next session thing, which is this here. Okay, so this is the picture which you can see. This is, the internal view of the cargo, uh, yeah, cargo spacecraft. Okay. Okay, just a sec. So, how are you guys? And no, the previous Chinese rocket did not have a controlled re-entry. Okay. Wonder where the rocket boosters will crash this time. Nothing serious. It will splash down in the ocean as everything. So here you can see the supplies inside the module, inside the cargo module, which you can see all the thing have been strapped and um, you know placed in a particular spot on the spacecraft so that it does not obviously during the launch time it does not wobble around anywhere, and when in space also we don't want it to float around in the spacecraft. So because it can induce some unwanted torque when hitting the surfaces, and it can lead to some uncontrolled orientation of the spacecraft, and then the attitude control system will need to work hard to maintain the orientation that we want. uh, that is the thing which we don't want. So yeah. Okay, now looking at this is the thing which you see, which you are seeing from the inside of the cargo spacecraft, the Tianzhou-2 spacecraft. Now I will make you see the GUI, which is the graphical user interface of the docking of this spacecraft when it is docking to the Tianhe core module. So this is how it will look like. This is the graphic user interface for docking with the space station, the Tianzhou-2 spacecraft. This is how it looks like. So here we can see the position vectors are there here, X, Y, Z, which you can see here. And then the velocity vectors are there in all the direction, X, Y, and Z, which is needed because we need a precise distance, precise uh, vector of the velocity so that we know where the spacecraft is going, and if it does have some horizontal or vertical speed which we need to cancel, and we just need that forward speed which we want so that it docks with the space station. And this is nothing but a crosshair for the reference, so that yes, you want something, you want a reference point so that you can align the spacecraft according to that. And yeah, this crosshair helps in that. So yeah, now what else do we have here? 55 minutes. Yes, we have 55 minutes until the launch. We have from in the bottom right or bottom left corner, you can see only the first platform is open right now. We are waiting for the platforms to open. So yes, time is there. It is cool to see these details, especially the inside view. Thank you so much, Ron Hunter. Really, I do, to have to make sure everything works perfectly fine, and to do these kind of research, it does take some good amount of time and good amount of research for you. So yeah, that is what I do. I mainly, tell all the things which you need to know before the launch, and all those inside things which you can get from a launch. So yeah, that is what I do. If you want, if you like this thing which I do, you can subscribe the channel and support me on Patreon or this thing. And yep, I know the politics talk going on in the chat. Let me just tell you guys this thing. The space sector, please, 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 the space sector should remain as a space sector in which the humanity is united as a species. Okay, space is all about togetherness, peace, harmony, and unity. We all, people of all races, religion, caste, or whatever, can unite here as a human species to save the planet, to save the human race as such. So and politics and space are two different things. So we are right now focusing on the space sector, the rocket science, and all those amazing things. And the scientists and engineers who have made this possible are actually the scientists and engineers. So uh, yeah, they only focus on science, so we should also focus on science. That's it. And yeah, now we can have a look at the another part, which is the how it will dock with the space station. I'm not okay now. Before that, let me just tell you the thing which is you need to know about the Tianhe core module, which is in the space right now. So shout out to shankan.in for providing this wonderful graphic. You can see here, this is the node cabin, which has the 5 docking ports. One here, one on this side, and one on the bottom side. Okay, so this has this 5 docking ports, and this one is the EVA port, in which the EVA airlock, basically, in which the astronauts or taikonauts can come out and do the spacewalks and all those things. Okay, then the solar panels, and then this thing here, and the primary thrusters are, you know, side mounted on this spacecraft, on this module, and the previous, or you can say the bottom or the aft part of this core module also has a docking port attached to it. So yeah, and talking about this thing, which is a robotic arm, this is a very capable robotic arm, which we will see. Okay, now this is our internal view of the core module. I won't talk much about it. I have already covered it when this module was launched. I just wanted you to see that there is one docking port, the aft docking port, where the module, the Tianzhou-2 module, will dock today. And yeah, this is how it will look like. This is how it will look like. Shout out to Willow Monster for providing this amazing render here. It will dock at the the aft section of the spacecraft. And talking about the aft section is a quick docking port. I mean, whenever you want to just dock with the space station, and you don't want to, comply with all complexities of maneuvering a spacecraft and checking in everything, so you just dock with this aft docking port. And why is it a quick docking port? Because it does not have any as such other modules docked with it. See, this is a node module, and this node module will have other modules docked with it when when the space station is fully constructed. It will have the 2 experimental modules here on this part and on this part. So there will be a, kind of a traffic jam here, and it would become difficult for docking here. So yeah, this is a quick docking port which they have provided. So talking about the construction of this space station, so this space station will be constructed by 2022, and there will be 11 launch missions to construct the space station. So there will be 3 Long March 5B launches, which will launch the Tianhe core module, which has already launched. It will launch the Venetian and the Manxian lab capsule. This is the experimental module, which means this module will contain all the research activities, scientific equipments, and everything which taikonauts or scientists need to perform some research. So these 2 modules are more like those work modules for taikonauts, where they will work. And 2 of them will be launching from the Long March 5B rocket, which is the most heaviest rocket which China has designed right now, 25 tons to the low Earth orbit. And talking about the Long March 7 rocket, which you can see here, this will be launching today, and it will ferry around 4 cargo vessels to the space station. the first we being launched today, and then 3 more will be launched in 2021 and 2022. Talking about the payload capacity, it is 14 tons. Fine. These two are for the construction and providing cargo. Now what is the rocket which will provide the actually the humans to the space station? So this is the Long March 2F rocket, which will actually ferry um, humans or taikonauts to the space station. There are 4 manned missions, Shenzhou manned missions scheduled, and all those 4 missions will be done from the Long March 2F rocket, which has the capability of 8.6 tons. So yes, China does have, you know, those beautiful, not beautiful, but varied launch vehicles spread all over the its organization. So yeah. Thank you so much, Christian, for that 5. Thank you for providing this stream. There's way too little coverage of the Chinese space program here on YouTube. I know that. And yes, that's, you can say, the reason why I do my best to provide the most information as possible, so that you can have a look how the Chinese space agency is progressing. And not only the Chinese, I just stream every other launch and every other space event. So I do provide streams and information for everything. So yeah, what's the trajectory? Okay. Yes, I will be going to the trajectory also, don't worry. And now I have this this map where the construction and how the space station will be constructed. So we'll have the Tianzhou-2 launching, then the Shenzhou-12 will launch the manned space uh, capsule, then the Tianzhou-3, Shenzhou-13, Tianzhou-4, Shenzhou-14, Tianzhou-5, Shenzhou-15, and between these we will have the the Mangshan and the Bangshan experiment module also launching. So this is how the things will look like. Again repeating, Tianzhou is the cargo spacecraft, Shenzhou is a manned spacecraft. So this is the thing. Now we should be looking at everything which I just said. There is one video, is a good video which will summarize everything for you, and but the sound of that video is a bit off. The voice comes in one channel and the music comes in another channel. So yeah, pardon for that, otherwise it's a good video which you can watch. Let it just load here. Okay.
This model of the Chinese space station, but if you're going to build an actual one in space, it's not that simple. China's Tiangong space station project consists of 3 stages: key technical verification, construction.
Okay, so this was the thing which I actually want you to see
consists of
in
3
this
stages.
video. Once this is the Mangshan, you can see here what is happening right now. In this graphing, as I already told you that the experimental module will be docked in these side docking port, and right now it is docking in the front part of the docking port. So now see what happens.
Key technical verification.
See, this is the capability of the robotic arm which it is carrying. It can literally transfer the whole module from one docking port to the another. This is the capability of this this robotic arm here. So yeah, this is a very capable robotic arm. It can literally it can literally transfer the modules from one docking port to another. So
construction and operation. The successful maiden launch of China's Long March 5B rocket in May of 2020 was a key milestone, validating this rocket as a viable vehicle to lift the station's core module called Tianhe into its designated orbit. Tiangong will be a T-shaped structure with the Tianhe core module and Mengtian and Wentian experimental modules. Besides the 3 launches to put the modules in orbit, China has planned 4 manned missions and 4 cargo missions. 11 intensive launches in total by the end of 2022. All of China's manned space missions will rely on this Long March 2F rocket. The Shenzhou spacecraft sits on the top of the rocket. Once the core module and later the entire
The
Tiangong
Shenzhou
station
space,
are in
no,
place,
this is the Tianhe.
this specific craft will dock with the core module while in orbit. Chinese astronauts will not only conduct a number of experiments, but also carry out extravehicular
Okay, so look at this graphic here, this render here.
conduct
I
a
mean,
number of
see the
experiments,
capability
but
of
also
the
carry out
robotic arm.
extravehicular
You can see literally the astronaut or the taikonaut is standing on that robotic arm, and that robotic arm is, you know, is taking care of all the movements for this astronaut. I mean, wherever he has to go, he or she has to go, he can travel on that. It can he can just stand on that platform of the robotic arm, and robotic arm will take care of where it has to go. You don't need to, you know, have all those conduct a literal spacewalk with the RCS thrusters or grab and go on to another module. It won't happen like that. The this robotic arm will take care of all that travel needs.
activities to
As
help
this
complete the
platform which you
construction
can see, the taikonaut astronaut will be standing on this platform, and if they have to do any station repairs, AV activities, they can do it by standing on it.
of the space station. Living and working in space for long periods of time requires more supplies. This is where the Long March 7 carrier rocket comes in. It will be used to carry the Tianzhou cargo ship, which will contain food, water, and other necessary supplies to the space station. All of these missions are integral parts, furthering China's endeavors.
Yes, so yep, that is the video. Now we should be looking at the flight profile. So you know, you can you just saw the capability of the arm. Especially I like the arm for this space station very much. Now we should be looking at the sorry, the flight profile. And shout out to Vonnie for providing such an amazing flight profile graphic here. And yes, this is here which we will see. Okay, China. So here we can see that there will be a launch at t plus 0 seconds. The rocket will launch from here, and then t equal to 173 seconds or so, the boosters will separate. Then the t at 189 second, the MECO will happen, and the main stage will separate, and the second stage will light up. And then finally the fairing will be jettisoned, and the spacecraft will be deployed after the SECO happens. So this is what we are expecting to see. And once the SECO happens and the spacecraft is deployed, it will open its solar panels for generating the power. Now, looking at the approach to rendezvous with the module, which we can see here, so this will actually, you can see that this space the rocket will place it in a orbit in which the apogee of the orbit will touch the orbit of the Tianhe core module. Okay, so what will happen is it can just travel to this location in which the apogee is touching to the orbit of this module, Tianhe module, and then can boost its speed so that it can raise this periapsis, which is the lowest point in the orbit, to this part, will burn in prograde direction and launch raise the periapse from this point to this part, and then match the orbit of the space the Tianhe core module, which is already in space. So how, we know that the module is traveling at 17,500 miles per hour. So how do the other spacecraft dock with it? There's something called relative velocity concept in physics, and once we cancel all those relative velocity with a particular to some reference or some object, in this case is a Tianhe core module, when we cancel all the relative velocity with the respect to Tianhe core module, we actually, the module and that spacecraft become stationary to each other, and then we can just apply thrusters in any direction in which will allow us to dock with the space station. So this is how the things will look like. And once it has raised the periapse from here to here, it will have this stops in which it will have to do multiple checks. First stop will happen at 1500 meters from the station. second will happen at 400, third will happen at 120, and finally the keep out sphere, I am guessing it to be right now it is at around 30 meter. So yeah, that is the thing with this one. So this is how the flight profile looks like. And now if you have any other question, guys, you can ask me and I'll be glad to answer any question. Okay. Postponed or postponed? No, 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 it was not postponed right now. Uh, okay. Now we can have a look at the internal views of this space station. The CMSC actually released this VR view of the of the space station, which we can view right now and get a look at how the internals of the space station will look like. So right now we are in the Shenzhou module, the Shenzhou spacecraft. This is how the Shenzhou spacecraft will look like. This is the manned space capsule, and from which the astronauts will be coming in from the Earth to the stations, and this is how the things will look like. All the that cargo and everything. Now this is the node cabin in which um, the spacecraft is docked. The node cabin, I mean to say this one. From here or here, the Shenzhou spacecraft will dock mostly from the forward docking unit. So yeah, this is the node cabin which you can see here. Here, this is the node cabin. Now if we go inside the node cabin, then we will see that node, yeah, we are inside the node cabin. Now if we just go in the front section, we will go to the astronaut quarters where the astronauts can sleep, can eat food and all those things. And if we go on this side, this is the Venetian cargo experimental module here. This is the Venetian experimental module, and just a sec. And yeah, this is the experimental module here. Then this is the another experimental module here, the Venetian or the Manxian, in which the astronauts can go and do the research. If we go in the above direction, this is most probably the EVA kind of a thing. I don't know necessarily. This must be an EVA or another docking port. I don't know that, but yeah. And if we go and look at the bottom part here, this is also I think this is most probably an EVA because it looks like an airlock here. So yeah, this is the EVA airlock, and that one is another um, module docking port where the things can dock. Now we can have a look at the astronaut um, complex, the astronaut complex of the station where the astronauts will most likely stay. So yeah, here we go. This is the the station which we can see here. uh this is the sleeping quarters we can see here, and then the food and the water is here. This is how everything looks like right now. So yep, that is the case. And if we go further inside, this is the life support system where the astronauts have the all those needs, the resources. Basically that's a resource port where the life support system is there, where the all those sensors and everything are placed, where from where the space station can have all those sensor, basically the hardware for everything is placed there. And if we look at the experimental module, the cabin, the Venetian and the Manxian, let it load just a bit. Loading here. Yes, they have two core modules because one was built for backup. Okay, Alex, I didn't know about it. I don't know. There is some issue with this thing not opening finally. This you can see the module where the astronauts will most likely do all the research activities. The scientific equipments and everything is placed here, which you can see. This is the node cabin and the laptop in its classical position here, and the plants. Obviously, the research can't happen without the plants, right? So yeah, and similar to that, we have another experimental module here. This is the mansion where again this is the scientific module. You can see here the bio stuff is also here, which needs some research. All the scientific equipments and everything is here only. And this is the entrance from where we came. This is the node cabin here, there. So yeah, that is how everything looks like. Is the launch scrubbed, delayed? Okay, let me just see, because the thing is that we can see the platforms have not opened yet. Let me just confirm again if it is uh, rescheduled or what. Not yet opening, might be another scrub. Here to see in Chinese space flight. Yes, it could be another scrub. Waiting for the official confirmation. So maybe see there is like a 40-minute launch window for this. All the news ad has been cancelled again. Let's. Is it cancelled again? And this is not happening. Not good. We can see that the upper platform is only opened and other things have not opened yet. Where will this rocket booster crash? This rocket is going to crash in the ocean. And yes, I do need to have some strict moderations in the chat for the next stream. I can see that there is quite a bit of politics going on here, and which we are not here for. We are here for space science and rocket science, and we should be looking for that only. So let me just still confirm whether it is a scrub or not. A sec. My stream is 20 minutes behind. Nope, it is not. Where can we get the official updates? Have. It looks like this is another scrub for the day. Today's attempt doesn't feel like the Chinese were going for it all with the closure notices, the only indication. Now, see, the thing is, since the platforms have not opened yet, so we can say it's looking like a scrub. We still have to wait. We never know whether they will again go in for the attempt or not. But yeah, that is the case here. Sorry. We are actually the top platform. Oh man. The top platform, we can see it is closing now, so it is again a scrub for the day. We can actually see the top platform closing right now. Okay, so scrub, guys. Scrub for the day again. They will try again on the Saturday. They do have this not only Saturday, since okay, let me just tell you, is it again opening or what? Are they opening again? I think they are like opening. I don't know, I'm not sure, but I think it is opening, not closing. Yes, it is opening. We'll still have to wait and see how the things will progress. It was supposed to close and now it is opening again. I have they decided to move ahead with the countdown or what? Let me just confirm what is happening right now. We will have to wait, guys. Again, I think we will have to wait here. Uh, it is again now. Is it closing or what? Because firstly it was closing and then again it opened, and now we will have to wait. Uh, we'll have to see. It is opening, man. It is opening. Rocket is still waiting, so that's a good indicator for the launch. I suppose that we will have to wait, guys. I think they are moving in for the with the countdown. We just have to see what is actually happening here. No go, launch control says no go for the launch. Uh, so what is happening now? Let me just see from the sources that I have. Still 25 minutes to go, and it's look like again the platforms are opening. We don't know what is happening right now. We are just waiting. Okay, so again it is closing. Finally, now it is again closing. Okay. Let it just close and then we can end the stream, because uh yes, now it is closing. Looking like it is a scrub, guys. Again a scrub for today. Ronald says, thanks for posting this on YouTube for the world to see. Really gives confidence to Chinese program. From Canada. Yes, actually, the thing is that I'm not specific for any country or so, but what my main aim is that people should be knowing about what is happening in the space sector. Okay, and they should be getting a uh, should be excited for every event which is happening. So yeah, I do that. I try to do that. Yeah, I think there is a thing here happening. The stream has gone, waiting for it to start. How many cameras? Due to the bad weather, so tonight launch has been cancelled. Okay, we will have to wait and see actually. Let me just confirm the dot. Uh, yes, it's a scrub for the day. Let me just update it here and maybe change this tree course. Hmm. Okay, so wait a sec. Can see actually what is happening right now. Just a sec. This thing. Thanks for the live stream. Yes, countdown is still on. No, the launch is postponed right now. We are just here to see the reason for the postponement. That's it. The China has scrubbed today's planned launch of this thing here. And so the launch is postponed right now, and we will have to see again the things, any updates as such, if there is, so that we can finally have a look at what is happening right now. Okay, looks like there is another scrub for the day. Right now, since we also didn't had any official confirmation of today's launch from the China itself, so yep, there was certainly a chance because the road closures and marine closures were in there and were in place, and it indicated that today is the day for the launch, but that we didn't. Will this be a worry about landing in someone's backyard? Christopher says, nope, 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 not again. This rocket, the only rocket which has the problem is the Long March 5B. That's it. No other rocket of China has that problem of uh, stages falling in an uncontrolled descent manner. So yeah. Uh, so today's launch is postponed for the day, which we can see here. Uh, right now it is not looking like they will be attempting to launch today, although we do have a launch opportunity tomorrow, so we will have to see there, because the this launch thing actually happens every day, and we just have to wait and see. Theoretically the launch window is open for every day, but again, We don't know whether they will be launching it or not. That's the only difference, because we don't have the official updates. I'm still trying to find a stream here. Witness the closed platform. Uh, Looking like we have already, don't have any other coverage as such. The other stream has gone to have one, but that will show you. Yeah, here you go. So finally, you can see here that the platforms are closed for the day. They are still fueling the vehicle, and they did it for, the last time also. They did the same when the scrub happened. They literally topped off the liquid oxygen which in the rocket for almost a day. They didn't, unload it and refueled it. That didn't happen. So yeah, that is the case here. Talking about the source, uh don't know the source here. Starry King Thoughts talks about universe. Okay, shout out to Starry King talks about universe for providing this coverage here. Yes, scrubbed for today, scrubbed for today. The light is off too. Yup. We can. Are there any plans to send additional modules to the space station after the 2022 building phase? Ask Killer Basti. See, right now we don't have any as such plan. They don't have any as such plan. They only have this whatever I just told you. The core module has already launched. Then the cargo resupply missions will happen with the Tianzhou spacecraft. Then the manned space flight to the space station will happen from with the Shenzhou spacecraft. And other than that, there are other two modules: the experimental modules, the Evanshan and the Mansion. Right now, we only have the plans for that. The Chinese space flight, the Chinese space agency have the plan for that. And if you ask me what is the size of this space station, this is almost 1/5 the size of the International Space Station. And you know uh, if you know the Mir space station, this is roughly the size of that. So yeah. And I don't think so they will be expanding the space station with any as such modules, because they don't have any extra uh, um, docking ports to expand the space station. Maybe they need to then uh, you know build one another module only which has different docking ports, maybe another node cabin kind of a module wherein the docking can happen. Other than that, I don't think so there is any plans for any expansion. If you have any other question, guys, you can ask me right now. Just got here. Was it scrubbed? Yep, it is scrubbed. No launch for the today, and right now actually don't know the reason why it happened, but yeah. So there has been some rumors flowing around in the discussion groups regarding what happened when why did they not go for the launch today. So the rumor is that the Tianzhou-2 spacecraft powered down when they tried to switch it to internal power. So this is a big problem if that is happening, because if this is a problem with the payload, then they seriously need to unload obviously unload the rocket first, and then detach the spacecraft from the fairing, open the fairing, detach it, and then do the inspection what is happening. Because right, if they don't do any, if there is any software issue as such, then so they can upload, that is fine. But if there is any hardware issue which needs to be replaced, and there are rumors flowing around that the Tianzhou-2 spacecraft, which was powered on and switched to internal power, basically that didn't happen. It was powered down when they tried to switch it to internal power. uh, so but this is just a rumor which has happened, which is I am just trying to say. So again, take it with a bit of salt here. Someone says that they weren't getting. See, this is the power of the rumors. One there is one fact which appears, which is kind of one people say one fact, then the other people just add and add, and some big rumor uh, starts. So yes, there was a power outage at Long Lao Town, if I pronounce it right. And but we don't know what about the Tianzhou-2 spacecraft. So maybe people are linking both of them because of the power outage in the town has affected the launch today, but that does not happen. Yeah. Is there any Russian component of this to the space station? No, M. Carpenter. China has solely designed and solely will be launching independently, will be launching the space station. No collaborations as such for now. Russia actually, approached China for collaboration for adding one module, the Russian module like we have for International Space Station. Uh, but they denied it, and they rejected it. So right now China is on its own. So is that you? Nope, nope, nope. Source is Starking Stocks Universe is the thing. Thank you for all I do. Thank you so much for joining in, guys. I really appreciate that. I mean, I have been trying to do as much as possible for you to have a good stream experience, such as this KSP thingy, which I already made and would have been, you know, played when it was launched. So, yeah. When launch, the launch is postponed. We do have a launch opportunity tomorrow, but again, if there is an issue with the payload, that means there is a serious pushback to the whole launch schedule, because right now um, this launch was scheduled for today, and then the Shenzhou spacecraft was to go and dock with the space station. Shenzhou again is the manned spacecraft. So before a cargo supply goes to the space station, manned space flight space capsule cannot go to the space station and dock. So this has to first of all dock, and then the Shenzhou will come and dock with it. But since rumors are stating that we have a problem with the uh, Tianzhou 2 power system, which means they will need some time, and it can really push the schedule back to the June now. And if that happens, the next Shenzhou launch was scheduled to happen at around June 5. So that will not be a good sign for them, and they will need to push back the whole schedule for today for this space station. Guys, if you like what I do, you can give it a thumbs up and maybe share it with your friends, and maybe have all the things happening here. Like, okay, do tonight's rocket launch is cancelled. Yes, it is. And you can follow me on Twitter, guys. I uh, post the updates, most of the space updates or rocket science related facts on my Twitter. You can follow me on Twitter. You can find the link in the pinned message or the description also. So yes. And if you have any other question, guys, you can ask me, but please do type in English. I can't understand Chinese here. So yeah. Will this launch also send parts of the rocket tumble back to the Earth? No, no, no. Stand on that. That is not going to happen. Again, repeating, Long March 5B is the only rocket in which that happens. Otherwise, no, nothing like that. Uh, Lorenzo says, "Where am I from?" Uh, I'm from Earth. Who wants to explore Mars? I don't want to live on Mars for sure. I want to live on Earth only. This is the best planet which we can get in the whole solar system for now. Don't know about the other galaxies, but yeah, for the solar system, we have this thing. Uh, uh, hold or the scrub right now. There's no hold. We can see the platforms closing back here. Part of this rocket will re-enter, Savage Gaming says. Yes, that happens with every other rocket. I mean, when the stage separates, it follows a parabolic trajectory and falls back down to the earth. So this was going to happen with this rocket also. And yeah, uh, the rocket parts would have landed, or you can say splashed down to the ocean. I read that this cargo spaceship is derived from the original space station. Does it have two docking points? Basically this is a Tianzhou-2 spacecraft, and they already had Tianzhou-1's cargo spacecraft also for the Tiangong-2 space station. So China have been there in the space station and human spaceflight business for a long now. They already had two space stations, then they deorbited it, and now they are making another space station, and this space station is there to stay. All those two space stations were a prototype one in which they launched and learned what all things are necessary for a space station to stay alive, and now they are constructing it in a permanent manner. And right now it is expected that the operational life for the Chinese space station would be around 10 to 15 years. It will depend on how well the space station is maintained. So yep, that is the case. No, the launch is not cancelled due to the bad weather as such, I think so, although we don't have the confirmation for today. uh, but yeah, trying to find one. But the town, I don't know if there is a link with the launch today, but the township of Longlaw appears to uh, be experiencing an power outage. Okay, so I don't think so. The power outage of a town is somehow related to this canceling of today's launch, because obviously the launch site must have had some backup power for such scenarios. So I don't think so that was the case, but we will have to see what actually happened there. You can ask me question, guys. I am here to answer your questions if you have for this space station, and obviously I will be streaming it again whenever this launch happens. So yeah. Postponed for 2 days in a row, quite worrisome, Vianancia says. No, see, the rocket launches and the postponement of the rocket launches basically is a thing, and that is a very common sight when we hear the rocket launches. So, the scrubs always tend to happen when a rocket is being launched, because a rocket is a very sophisticated instrument or a vehicle, and a very complex one, in which they have like thousands of checklist in which they have to do. That's why we have a countdown basically ensures that they check this and this at a certain time, like at around t minus 1 hour they have to check whether the uh, fueling system has started. T minus 15 minutes they have to check whether the locks is secured, locks is being topped off or not. So they have like thousands of checks which they have to do, and hence the most commonly the countdown for a launch begins at around t minus 24 hours or so. And there are certain rockets where you will experience the countdown to begin at t minus 48 hours or so. So there are so many checks which has to, all of them has to go right, and if either one of them goes wrong or becomes red, no, they are not launching today, because rocket launch is literally a controlled explosion. Whenever a rocket launch happens, the thing which is coming out of the engine, that is actually a controlled explosion which is happening. You are controlling the explosion and directing all of its energy in a particular direction, which is causing the rocket to go up. So that is the case here. The launch still a go. Right now, the launch is a no go for today. Uh, we were seeing that the platforms have cancelled. So, yep. Yes, it has delayed again. Do you think the private industry worldwide get into the space? Question is not clear. Aren't you glad about the Zhurong mission? That was much harder. I was now waiting with the bated breath for the rover to detach from its space. This part should be likely to a success, right? Yes, I was so glad when the Zhurong rover mission was successful, because uh, now there are two rovers on the surface from two different countries, which simply means a science boost for humanity. And whenever there is a science boost for humanity, and whenever there is such scientific missions happening from any country, I am the first who is very happy, because the science which we will get from any mission like these is not only helping that country for particular, but it is actually happening the humanity to progress, to basically like Zhurong rover is there. It will, the science that it will generate will basically enable us to go into the Mars and uh, basically stay there for some time. So yep, always and always all those space missions which happens are always good for humanity. So yes, I always look forward to that. And talking about the live stream, I did the live stream of the Zhurong rover landing. You can check that out. I have actually covered all of the aspects which you needed to know about that mission, the Tianwen-1 mission. So you can check that out. You will find that out in my channel. So yep. And the rover is right now scheduled to detach from the lander module in around 9 sols from right now. And we already had a that picture from the rover which China already shared. Let me just share with you that picture right now. Just a sec. By the way, guys, this is my uh, profile, the Twitter profile. I post many rocket science related videos, yeah, rocket science related to it and space updates on my Twitter profile at the rate Rocket Gyan. You can follow me. The link is in the description as well as in the. I have to stop. This is the picture which the Zhurong rover sent, and you can see that the solar panels have already been deployed. Here you can see the flaps, the solar wings as they say, have already deployed, and the cute little antenna is also deployed, and hopefully sending the signals back to the earth, that saying that Zhurong is healthy on the Mars. And Talking about the rail system, this rail system is also successfully deployed on Mars, which we can see here. And right now, the rover will stay on the, you know, that lander for around 9 sols, which is nothing but 9 Martian days. And then they will come out, down from the lander and perform its science operations. So yes, that is the case. Okay, so what do we have? What else do we have here? I thought they were having some issues with the photos took so long to come. Was glad when they eventually came. Actually, see, most of the people were, spreading this controversial, conspiracy theories that China hasn't landed on Mars. But the thing was why they weren't, releasing these pictures. Um, there was a certain technical reason behind that, and that was the UHF link to the earth. The high frequency link to the earth was not enabled until and unless the orbiter, which was in the, deploying orbit, it has to come into a relay orbit. Otherwise it won't be able to send the high resolution images taken from the rover back to the earth. So that took time, that the orbiter to change the orbit and come into a relay orbit, that took time. And once it came, it certainly beamed back all the pictures and everything which it has taken. And yep. Joe Blog says, "Can you tell us why China chose that particular area to explore, Steve, in Ireland?" Okay. Uh, See, they actually landed near Utopia Planitia, and the mission, objectives for this mission is basically is to explore the water ice on the surface, explore the life, basically looking for the signs of life, to map the mineralogy of the Mars, to study the surface of the Mars, and to study the weather of the Mars. So that was a particular spot, near the Utopia Planitia, which actually satisfied all those conditions which could seriously generate good amount of science. Because there are certain places where you found good amount of surface water. So it is expected that we could find some surface water on near the Utopia Planitia. So, and that is one of the criteria. Other one is that that Utopia Planitia plains are actually very flat, so you want a flat surface to land. So yep, that is the case. Yes, this launch is scrubbed and we are waiting. Okay, the launch is scrubbed for today. See some people saying on the Chinese social media that today's launch has been postponed again, and yes, it has been postponed again. But see, right now we don't know the proper reason why it actually got scrubbed, but there are certain rumors flowing around, and yeah, we will have to see. The another launch opportunity is tomorrow, but again, we will have to see whether they will go for tomorrow's launch on. Right now, we don't have any as such other updates. Uh, so UK to the moon navigation. Okay, UK Space Agency is basically uh, developing new communication and navigation tech for the future missions, in which NASA is planning to return by 2024. And yes, since NASA is also planning to return to the moon by 2024, I have heard that China and Russia are also in collaboration to make a lunar base the surface of moon. So, yep, that is happening. Otherwise, um, otherwise today I think is a scrub because we haven't So thank you so much, Chris Kuo, for that 799. I saw a pic that the administrator of NASA shows this photo to asking. Okay, yeah, I also saw that, and Shardu. Okay, and the thing is, yes, that is a thing. He actually meant to, I want, what should I say? He actually meant to relate to the public and to the policymakers that China is seriously progressing into space. Okay, and we know the political situation between US and China, it's not very much great. So yep, if they can get some extra funding uh, with this and which can accelerate the missions to the moon also, that would be great. I think so, because um, some kind of political push is necessary in space missions, because space mission cost a hell lot of money. And yes, if they can get some budget, we can see some real science coming out of it. I am looking for science, but I am let me just make sure, because I have seen the budget problem here with ISRO is really struggling with the budget, and just because of the budget, I think that they are not able to pull out most of the missions which they can. They have this enormous potential to do most of the things, but the bottleneck of the budget is actually pushing them behind. Yeah. Shardul says, make videos like Garib Scientist as well as with the live stream. Good job, keep it up. Yep. Yes, yes, yes. I will do that. I know I'm lacking on that front, so yes, I will do that. I like ISRO's launch. What is your, which space agency launch do you like? I don't have any as such opinion on which space agency launch I like. I like every other space launch that which happens. So yes, India is going to land on the moon by 2023 or 2022 end, or and 2023 year beginning. So we will have to see. Thank you. Okay. Private industry should get involved and not only government agencies. See, okay, talking about the private agencies of China, China is also having good amount of private space agencies, basically rocket launchers also, private rocket launchers also. They are having, such as if I remember, there is one launcher space or launcher one, I don't remember one the name exactly, but yeah, they are targeting the small set market. They are working on the Methalox engine also, and Lander Space. Yeah, the Lander Space, that was the company, the Lander Space. And yes, SpaceX is always there. In the US, the most epic private space rocket agency, you can say. And talking about Indian private space agencies, we also have something here such as Skyroot, Agnikul, and Bellatrix Aerospace. These three companies are pushing in for the rocket launch business. After the Chandrayaan 3, India will launch Mangalyaan 2, confirmed by ISRO chairman. Again, I'm saying the thing is, first of all, I want Mangalyaan 2 to be a lander and a rover. I seriously want, they I don't want a orbiter mission now. Maybe they can do a orbiter mission because the Mangalyaan 1 mission has already, coming to an end right now, so they would be needing one orbiter, but they can go all like China, wherein they send the mission with the lander and a rover and then an orbiter, but they will need a heavy rocket to do that. Will need a really heavy lift vehicle, and right now ISRO doesn't have that, so we'll have to see when the next ISRO launch will be. It is for, see, the ISRO launch is pushing back because of COVID situations here, and sometime because of the payload problems. Um, there was one launch which was scheduled to happen in March 2020, and it has still now being delayed and delayed. The next launch we are looking in is around mid June, but that is also subject to postponements. We will have to wait. Gayaan 2 has orbiter, no lander. Uh, I can give that to ISRO because they don't have right now the heavy lift vehicle which can lift such a heavy payload of all those things, because the China has this Long March 5 rocket which can lift 23 tons to low Earth orbit, and that's why they were able to pull out 3 missions in just one go: orbiter, lander, and a rover. India will have to place a orbiter there first, and then they will have to go in for the lander and the rover. Okay. Okay, talking about today's launch. Today's launch of the Tianzhou-2 spacecraft to the China's space station, the Tiangong 3, has been postponed. We don't know the reason yet, but right now it has been postponed, and next launch opportunity is to tomorrow. The launch window is tomorrow, but we will have to see whether they will launch it tomorrow or not, because that is a thing which we can't say right now. Hmm. Okay. Why was the launch postponed? We don't know the information yet. They were going in for the launch today. That was for sure, because there was some official CCTV or news broadcast which was supposed to happen, but then they canceled it at the very last time. So now they are broadcasting some other news. So yes, they were going in for a launch today, but right now we don't know why it got scrubbed. Although there are rumors going um, in the discussion forum that the Tianzhou-2 spacecraft had some power problems. The internal power, when they switched to internal power, that was not able to power up itself. So that was a thing which is floating around. Although it's a rumor, so don't know whether what is going on. What is your opinion of the Russians' development of a nuclear rocket? Nuclear rocket. I haven't heard about the development of a nuclear rocket from Russia, although I would be looking very much forward to it, because nuclear propulsion is the next big thing ahead, which we should be working right now. The Starship with the chemical rocket propulsion is good for initial phase when we are about to colonize Mars. But then if we actually want to colonize solar system and go beyond the inner planets, the Venus, Mars and all, we actually need a nuclear propulsion, because it all comes down to the fact how much energy are you carrying in the fuel, and the chemical fuels does not have that much amount of energy, but the nuclear fuel, the nuclear core, actually has a good amount of energy built into it, and we just need to you know have that system in place which actually can direct that energy into a useful thrust. So yep, that is the case, and it will be having high ISP, means the high ISP for a rocket, because again there is for the nuclear propulsion, the core is very small, but the power which it can transfer, the thrust, not the thrust, but the delta V which it can give to the spacecraft is enormous, because the core has enormous amount of energy in it. That's why the nuclear reactors, whenever the energy or the electricity coming out of the nuclear reactors, they are considered to be cheap than the other modes of generation of electricity, because they are able to generate large amount of an electricity from such a small event of nuclear reactor there. So yeah. So I think if you don't have another question, I can end this stream right now. Otherwise, yep. you have other questions or things to discuss, you can ask me. Otherwise, we can end this stream, and hopefully I'll come with another stream whenever the launch happens. Savage Gaming says they apply the heat directly to the rocket exhaust on that engine. It does not actually work like that, because you can't actually get a thrust just radiating heat out. Um, you need to be actually, I think, I don't know how the nuclear propulsion works. I haven't had the time to research about it, but heat is not the thing. I mean, heat is the ultimate thing which actually can develop, can generate something, and hence something can happen which can generate thrust. Heat can indirectly contribute, but just heat radiating out, nope, that is not how you will get a propulsion. You need very reliable rocket to launch nuclear probes. Atlas 5 is there. Yes, currently in the whole world, the rocket which is rated for a nuclear probe or the nuclear something to go into space is the ULA's Atlas 5. So most probably you will be launching on that one. John Wilson says, thank you, Rocket Gyan. Excellent coverage as always. Thank you so much, guys, for joining in. Um, really glad you joined in, and we were able to witness. We weren't able to witness the launch, but at least something has happened today. So no hard feelings. Rubs are always better than ruds. So yep. I think now I can end the stream, and hopefully whenever the launch happens, I'll come back to explain everything and each and everything to you, and maybe have some good amount of moderation in the chat the next time. Okay, thank you so much all the mods which did tremendous work today. And thank you so much, Labrat, John Wilson, Shashank, Louis Smith, all the mods which actually did good amount of work today for their contribution. Thank you so much. So there will be two Tianzhou dock with the station when it is completed, right? Nope. Nope, nope, nope. It will depend on the situation actually, whether you need a second Tianzhou spacecraft. See, when first spacecraft will go, like for this, how the construction of this space station is planned. First of all, the Tianzhou-1 will dock with the aft section of the core module. Okay, then the Shenzhou spacecraft will dock. The Shenzhou manned mission will come, but till then also there will be no re-entering of the cargo module to the atmosphere. Then there will be the time of the launch of the Tianzhou-2 spacecraft. Okay, so what they will do, since the first Tianzhou-1 is docked in the aft section, and that is a quick docking port, what they will do, they will undock the Tianzhou-1 spacecraft from there. They will transfer that Tianzhou-1 spacecraft to the forward docking port in the node cabin of the core module. And since now the aft docking port is empty, so the Tianzhou-2 can then dock with the station. So that is how the things are planned for today. But then again, the Tianzhou-1 will undock and re-enter the atmosphere. So this is the thing which is right now planned. But there is just a one extra port there. There are 5 docking ports, out of which 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually 4 docking ports, out of which 2 will be there with the um, experimental module. One will always be happen there uh, um, one will always be having that Shenzhou spacecraft, and the other one would be empty, and that could be used as a backup um, more port. So if anything bad happens, if they want again a manned spacecraft to dock with the station, so that backup port can be used. So yeah. Thanks for the efforts, says Luxi. Thank you so much, guys. Okay, finally. Now I can end the stream. Thank you so much all for joining in. I hope you had a great day today. You were able to get some information. You were able to get some knowledge today. And I hope you like the stream. So, yep. Until then, this is Priyanshu Rohila. You just saw Rocket Gyan. Stay safe, stay healthy, and